Hey friends, hello. With Father's Day just round the corner, here are four very interesting and new ideas of gifting some very nice handmade artistic work to your father this Father's Day. So let's get started. Welcome back to my channel, Mads World of Passion. So for the first gift idea, I'm using this burlap cloth and this embroidery hook to actually make a very interesting DIY. Now here I'll cut this burlap cloth a little extra than the size of the frame and then fix it in such a way that there's a little extra on all sides which can be glued easily from behind. Now here I'm hand drawing an illustration wherein a father is carrying his son on top of his shoulders. Now there are two options. You can either you can do a crochet work, or you can actually use a needle and try to make the outline of this illustration that I've actually drawn. But before you do all that, once you are okay with the illustration, just glue everything, all the burlap cloth extra behind the frame using the hot glue gun. And here I'm not using a needle and doing a crochet work or stitching it, but that is an option that you can try. Here I'm just using a Fevicol and using this jute rope which is in black color to stick to the outline of this illustration. Now here if you do not have time to do all this, you can simply use acrylic color to draw the outline, and the same can be done in this case also here, wherein I'm using a wool to highlight the quote that I've written, but again the same can be done with acrylic color as well. Now this can be kept on an easel, or you can simply hang it in somewhere near your father's desk where if at all he's working from home or something like that, maybe you can use that place to display these artworks that I'm showing in this video. Now here the dress of father and the child can also be colored using acrylic color, but that's totally optional. And this is the final look of the first DIY. I hope you all liked it. For this second DIY, I'm using this particular coaster. Actually, it's supposed to be a coaster which I bought from Itsy Bitsy. I painted it with a coat of gesso, and these two I have made using the molded clay. Now the bigger one would be the face of the father, and the small one of course is the face of his daughter. So I'm just tracing the outline of the the molded clay round shape that I've made here, so that I can draw an illustration around this particular face of the father and daughter. So I have hand drawn everything here. I've not traced anything, but yes, you can use these images. I've got these images through Pinterest when I was searching for some Father's Day related illustrations. I got some of these, but then I do not have a printer at home, so I decided to draw everything freehand. So once you draw everything and once it's all okay, you have to apply a background color of your choice. Now color here are totally your choice for all the DIYs here, because many people have different tastes, and some of them use colors that are favorite for their child or father. So you can definitely change the color according to your wish, as I always keep saying that. Here I'm using this purple chalk paint from Itsy Bitsy, and I'm using a sponge dabber to highlight the background. Friends, I have a little bad throat, so I'm going to speak a little less. I guess you all could have made out the way I'm speaking. I'm just not able to speak too much. Okay, now just giving a brief of what I'm doing here. I'm using a fresh flesh tint color and a sponge dabber. First I painted it with the brush, and then to just nullify the strokes of the brush, I'm using a sponge rubber wherever necessary, and then with the help of a pencil I'm drawing the face of the child and the father, and then coloring the MDF board with the necessary colors. Like for clothes and hair, you can use the colors of your choice. Now here this step is very important where you're drawing the facial expression, because that actually highlights your whole art piece. So do take time to do this and do not hurry up while you're doing this. Now let's quickly paint the other elements of these father and daughter illustration. Now to make the outline of these illustrations, I'm using a 000 brush and black acrylic color. But if you do not want to do it this way, you can also use a permanent marker to actually draw the facial expressions as well and outline the illustration. Then finally you have to fix these molded clay using the Fevicol and allow this to dry overnight before you apply varnish on them, because otherwise the paint would spread and your whole artwork would just be ruined. So do not do that. I have used an easel to display this particular artwork, but yes, you can use it as a fridge magnet or also as a car dangler. Now this particular DIY is the most easiest that you can make, and it's a last minute craft idea. If you do not want to invest time and spend time in doing these kind of artworks which I just showed you, this is the most simplest way that you can gift your father with a lovely message. I am showing an origami shirt and a tie making with a message that would go with it. Here I am using a very subtle color for a shirt, which is kind of a light peach color. But again, color of the sheet that you want to use, this is an A4 sheet, which is a craft sheet basically, so it's not that thin nor too thick. But for the tie, I've used a little thick material of an A4 sheet, which would be a maroon color. Here, I don't think I need to explain anything. These are the folds that you need to do and create this particular DIY. So you have to be a little observant when you're actually trying to make this, because here I do not have much to explain. I guess this is a very easy to make DIY, and this is the note I've written here. Write anything that you wish to, a note which you got to stick inside once you create these folds and pattern, and then cover this up and make it look like a shirt. Now this particular material is a little thick and is not as thin as the sheet which I had used earlier. This I'm making a tie. Now the tie has to go with the shirt that you're making. It has to look like official wearing a shirt and a tie. It should not look like two different colors like pink and orange and green. So don't use those kind of colors for shirt and the tie. See to it that your tie and the shirt would relate to each other and should not be looking odd. That is the only thing you have to make sure of. And the other procedure is very simple. You can just see, you can observe and do it the way I'm showing in here. Now whatever quote or message that you want to give your father, it is again totally an optional choice that you can make. Here I'm writing, Dad, you inspire me always, but again you can change the quote as per your wish. Stick the tie with the help of a glue stick on the shirt, and yes, your special DIY greeting card is ready. It's a unique one and a special one to your father. Now the fourth and the final DIY, I'm going to make a bookmark. Now this is an MDF which I've bookmark which I've bought from Amazon, and if possible I'll try and provide a link to the same in the description box, so do check out on that. Now firstly, I painted on both sides of this bookmark with the help of gesso, and then I used a light, what color, I don't know what color it is, it's from Itsy Bitsy. It's a very subtle green color that I've used here to paint on both sides of the bookmark using a sponge wrapper. Now I'm drawing an illustration again here. If you do not want to draw, you can trace them as well. Now on the front I've made this illustration and I've written I love you Appa, and the back side of it I've written Daddy's little girl. Now the quote is totally again your choice, you can change it if you want to, but I didn't want it to draw an illustration. If you wish, again you can draw another illustration on the back side of this illustration which I'm painting in here, but I wanted it to keep a little simple on the other side of the bookmark, so I've just written a quote as Daddy's little girl. But again, if you want to draw something, it's totally your choice, you can do that. Now here I used a flesh tint color, and I've painted the skin color of the father and the daughter here. Now we have to observe one thing here, since the background color is a light color, all the colors are popping up here, which I'm painting on top of the background color. But if you're making the background color very dark, then all these colors will not come out the way it is supposed to. So make sure you choose a lighter shade of background color so that all these elements which you're painting on top of the background color is highlighted. Now I'm making a tassel to hold the bookmark using a macrame rope. You can also use a wool to make tassels, and any other different color, because here I'm keeping it very neutral with the beige color thin macrame rope that I'm using here. But again, you can make a tassel of your choice with whatever material that you wish to, and this is how you use the bookmark. Now this is one of my favorite DIY that I've made in this particular project. This is looking so adorable, the father and the daughter. I mean, I'm just in love with it. Guys, I hope you also have liked all the DIYs that I created today. If yes, then do not forget to like and share this with your loved ones, and do not forget again to subscribe to my channel. See you all soon in my next video. Wish you all a very happy Father's Day in advance. Take care all of you, and bye-bye.